Hello, I hope you're live. Yes, we are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to another second part of the five-part masterclass. This is the Billionaire Ignition masterclass. In this masterclass, I take people. This masterclass is specifically for driven ultra high agency people. There are two types of audience that this masterclass is aimed at. One, driven ultra high agency people who are super successful right now. The second type of people, driven ultra high agency people who are not that successful, but they want to live their absolute dream lives. Come on, dude, what is happening? Be more articulate. Be better. Let's go. Hi everyone. This is the part two of the five-part masterclass. This masterclass is aimed at the driven, ultra high agency people, successful and aspiring to be successful people who want to go from agency to their to living their greatest dream life. This is what I do. I motivate and coach ultra high agency driven people from taking them from literally just agency to bringing actual results, to taking them to their greatest dream life. So this is the part two of the five-part masterclass. In this masterclass, we'll be talking about one of the most important ideas that I've not one of but like yeah the second most important idea that I've ever come across my entire life. This thing can change lives. This thing is something that can be used by super unsuccessful to the most successful person ever. This is the key to transformation. This is one of the most important things that you'll ever come across. Paradigms. What we'll talk about in this video is paradigms. What are your results? How to change those results? What is a paradigm? Third part, we'll talk about higher faculties and how they affect the paradigm, and then we'll talk about how to change the paradigm, that is through repetition, and what all does paradigm control. So yes, without further ado, we will get into the second part of the five-part masterclass, and here we begin. Hi everyone. So in the first video, we talked about who we are and our infinite power and how we use that, and we concluded that we are awareness. Everything is an illusion passing in awareness, and this alone gives us the infinite power to have absolute emotional control over ourselves, see that gap between our emotions and external world and us being awareness, and from that awareness having the freedom to create the results that we want. Secondly, we realize that our infinite power, this self-realization of realizing that we are awareness, gives us also the hint into our creation power, our infinite creation power, and the fact that everything in this world is awareness made manifest, consciousness made manifest. And if everything is consciousness made manifest, and we are consciousness, we are imagination, we are awareness, we can create our own results as well. This is how we ending the last this is how we ended the last part of the masterclass, first part of the masterclass, and that is where we'll be continuing and taking this into the part two, that is paradigm. So up till now we discussed how, I will do that through my beautiful screen. So up till now we discussed how awareness can change our results. In this video, we'll talk about how exactly our awareness controls our results, how exactly paradigms control our results, and how we can change them. So what is paradigm? Paradigm is basically, if I have to write it down, paradigm is a multitude of ideas that have exclusive control over 95 to 98% of our daily lives. Now this alone shows how important this subject is going to be. What is a paradigm? Paradigm is basically a program. It's a program that controls our 95% of our life. We think we control our lives, but as you've heard a lot of times already, our habits, the subconscious mind controls 95% of our behaviors. We just do hello, hello, hello. Okay, the voice coming. We just control 2 to 5% of our days because we don't think throughout the time. We act subconsciously. So where does that subconscious behavior come from? Where does that program exist? Where does that How does that program bring our results? Where do the habits get formed? And if we get to know where the habits get formed, how do we change it so that we can live our greatest dream life? Remember, the goal of this masterclass is so that you can live your greatest dream life. So to understand paradigm, we have to understand something called our mind. So we have a mind. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody ever told us what that is. We just know that we have a mind. And in the last video, I told you mind is like mind is movement of mental thought. Right. But if we had to picture it, if we had to picture what mind looks like, how would we picture it? We were never told this, but this diagram was given to me by Bob Proctor, and I think when I saw this diagram, it changed everything in my life. So this is what I'm going to give it to you. I'm telling you guys, this is the most important diagram that you'll ever come across. This image that I'm going to draw right now has changed millions of lives. I'm just another guy who is speaking about it, but this is so important. If you get it, if you want to live your absolute dream life, nothing will benefit you more than this. So this is how it goes. What does our mind look like? This is how our mind looks like. Okay, not a good circle. I think I can draw a circle. Wow. I'll use this circle to explain you guys what a mind looks like. Then we'll go. Right. This is what a mind looks like. I'll also draw body. So we need to understand that a mind is made of two things. Oops. We have two minds. First, we have our conscious mind. Conscious mind. Next, we have our subconscious mind. Subconscious mind. And when I told you our paradigm controls 95 to 98% of our behavior, 95% of our lives, this is where this paradigm is. And this is the emotional mind. This is where the paradigm is. Again, I should work on slides so that I don't waste your precious time. So this is how life works. As I said, this is our body, and if I had to even make it even better, this is important because this is where we start. Where do we start? Why is this video important for you? Because we want to talk about your results, your success, your dreams, your life. So I want you to look at this diagram and take a look at your results, the results that you're getting. which is this part. What are the results that you're getting? How much do you earn? How much do you, how is your relationship with your family? How is your health? How is your wealth? How much, how much do you earn? How, how do you feel and look? Health. How is the relationship? How is your relationship like? I'm thinking of going Instagram live, but then it's fine. How does your relationship look like? Right? This is what I want you to look at, and because I want you to look at this because this can change. If you earn 10 lakhs per month, that can change. If you earn $50,000 a year, it can change. If you earn $1 million a year, it can change. If you earn $100 million a year, it can change. Do you know where you are, and do you like where you are? I want really look at your results, because I see a lot of people who are extremely intelligent, extremely smart, they know exactly what to do, but when you look at the results, they're not good. Very intelligent people, very smart people, when you look at the money they're earning, not good. Very intelligent people, again very smart people, but when you look at their actual health, actual weight, it's not good. Fat people being super educated about nutrition, doesn't make sense, right? Why are the results not where you want to be? And you are somebody who wants to live your absolute dream life, so I want you to think, despite knowing all that, you know are you actually living your dream life? Do your results look like the way you want them to look? Because results can change. Most of the time people don't even believe that their results can change, but I'm telling you, your results can change, and your results can change so much, so fast that it'll be difficult for you to believe. So results can change. And do you have the results that you like? If you don't, this is how you change your results. What determines a result? This is how our mind, now I'll be telling you guys how the mind works and how it causes results. All right. So how life works is, there is a constant flow of energy and information in you. Energy is constantly flowing in and out of you. You're thinking something, you're doing something, all the time energy is going into you, outside you, into you, outside you, into you, outside you. When it gets into your mind, this is where it gets in from. Now conscious mind is the logical mind. Logical mind, ability ability to accept and reject. This is the mind where you think. This is the mind where you see what is happening, and you decide what to take in, what to not to take in, and all that stuff. right? So you wake up, you listen to news, you listen to people around you, you listen to your family, you listen to your mom, you listen to your dad, you listen to everybody that there is. Energy flows in. Now you have here the ability, the filter to accept and reject the information that goes into subconscious mind, which is an emotional mind which feeling mind, and the mind where the paradigm is. Most importantly, the mind where the paradigm is. Now, as you take information over and over and over and over and over and over and over again from every day, listening to everybody, everyone, a belief gets formed here, a worldview gets formed here. A multitude of idea that controls your, a belief gets formed here, a self-image gets formed here, an identity of yours, how you view the world gets formed here. When the belief gets formed, that belief, that vibration, that feeling is passed into body. This is where body is where action happens. Body is where action happens, and as I said before, paradigm controls 95 to 98% of our daily lives, which means 95% of the 95 to 98% of our daily life actions are governed by the belief that get formed by constantly intaking information without accepting or rejecting from the conscious mind. Now, I want you to take a look at your result and ask yourself, is this result, and this action creates result. I want you to take a look at your results and ask yourself, are your results in alignment with the information that you take in, with your beliefs? Because if you feel comfortable in your life, whatever you're doing right now, if you feel comfortable, it means that you're in harmony with your paradigm. You're in harmony with your program, and you're acting according to it. And one way to understand it is that when you see a poor person, when you come across a poor person, you can almost always predict that he's going to be poor 2 years later as well. When you see people born in rich families, you can just predict that they're going to be rich as well. Apart from the environmental factors, you just know, if you know a bad salesperson, you know his performance will be bad 1 year from now as well. If you know an awesome salesperson, you know they'll be better than what they are a year later. Whatever is the program, it always keeps increasing, it always keeps your actions aligned with that. So if you have a bad self-image, if you think you're ugly, you, you keep going to do the things that keep you ugly. If you're a fat person, if you think you're a fat person, you'll keep doing the things that keep you fat. If you see a fit person, they often eventually keep doing the things that make them fit, especially the ones you transformed. So you need to realize that this paradigm that has gotten formed after you taking constant information constantly over and over again is controlling your life. You're not controlling your life yourself. This is what is controlling your life. And as long as this paradigm isn't changed, it is all as long as this paradigm isn't changed, it is almost impossible for you to change your results, because paradigm controls your actions, actions control your result. So how do we go from here? So you said you want to live your greatest dream life. First you need to finalize what it is. You have to make a committed irrevocable decision that you want something. To make that, to even make that, you need to write down exactly, know for yourself exactly what it is, what is it that you want the most, and it should be clear. Once you finalize what you want, then you have to start feeding the conscious mind that information. Now, how does a conscious mind take information? There are lower faculties and there are higher faculties. Lower faculties are our senses. Simply see, hear, smell, touch. What's the fifth one? You see, you hear, you smell, you touch. What's the fifth one? Lamau. This is so funny. This is so funny. Taste. Taste. So this is how you take information to your conscious mind through your conscious mind, right? Whatever you see, whatever you see, hear from the news, etc., etc., etc. But you also have to realize that you have high faculties as well. This is how you but you need to realize that you have high faculties as well. What are your high faculties? They are perception, as Wayne Dyer famously said, without your permission. Then you have will. Will is the power to hold one idea on the screen of your mind on the exclusion of every other idea. Now this is so important because when you are on the path of achieving your greatest dream life, you have to realize that whatever that you want has to take most of your day's thoughts and the information that it takes in, because we only have so much time and energy. If you keep thinking about the thing that you want the most, you get close to it. If you do not think about the thing that you want the most, you literally get away from it. You have to keep thinking about the one thing. And as Neville Goddard once said, the power of our being is directly in proportion to the narrowness of our attention. If you focus on one thing, the probability of getting that thing increases way more compared to when your attention is diluted. There's a beautiful quote by Neville Goddard where he says, "We are only limited by the we are only limited by the poverty of imagination and weakness of attention. We're only limited by our weak." There's a beautiful quote by Neville Goddard that goes like, "We are only limited by the weakness of attention, by our weakness of attention and poverty of imagination." And then comes the greatest higher faculty that I talked about, yes, in the last part as well, which is imagination. Imagination is your greatest power that you have. You are imagination. Imagination is the true God. Imagination is the founding power that created everything. If you need to use your mind to imagine the greatest thing that you can possibly imagine. Whatever you imagine soon manifests into real life. Everything is imagination made manifest. If you can, and the beautiful thing is, you guys need to understand, because we are about to change the results, we have the power to change it to any degree that we want. We don't have to change it to, if I'm earning 10 lakhs, I want to earn 15 lakhs. You can directly change it from 10 to 100 crores. Who is stopping you? Nobody. You have the power to imagine. Why are you not practicing it? Imagination creates reality. If you have such a beautiful power, why do you imagine only 2% better results? Why can you not imagine 100% better results? Because you can. In the mind, you can. And whatever you keep here long enough turns into paradigm. Paradigm creates actions. Actions create results. So imagination is a great tool. That imagination is the greatest higher faculty that you must use when you're on the path of creating your greatest dream life. Then you have intuition. When it's a sixth sense. When when you just get the feeling what is right and wrong to do, you have to learn to trust your intuition. When you will be on the path of living your greatest dream life, there'll be things happening where you'll have to make decisions, big decisions, but you won't have much time for that. And at those times, when you consume the information related to your goals so much, you get intuitive answers to things in life, and you have to trust that sixth sense. That is how you also feed your intuition. Is also one way a conscious mind thinks and feeds data to the subconscious mind. So you have to learn to trust your intuition, but we'll only get good intuition when we have a good program. But it works vice versa. You think good, you get good intuition, and it makes for even better paradigm. Then comes reason. We have the ability to reason things, as we discussed in the last video, last part of the masterclass. We have a space between awareness and what happens is in real life, and we can reasonably act to it. We can reason out what is good for us, what is not good for us. And because we can reason out, we can also reason what is the rightest thing to consume for ourselves, and then consume it instead of just directly consuming what comes from the lower faculties. Then we have the last higher faculty that we have, which is reason, or which is thinking. Thinking and reasoning is basically same. It's the space between awareness and the things that happen, the ability to think, to reason out if I need to act on this information or not. That space between awareness and external things happening, that space is thinking. We think people think, but nobody thinks. We just react. If we think, we can always choose how we act, but we never pretty much act consciously. We just keep acting reactively. Thinking is another higher faculty that we have. So this is how the world works. We get information, and by the way, when we are a child, our mind looks like this. Information comes directly in. There is no filter, no logical mind, and a person creates a belief, a paradigm, which controls his actions and which controls his results. This is why it's difficult to change, because our first paradigm is already formed in childhood. Until we change that, it's very difficult to change. Our first paradigm was made in our childhood. This is why, as I said, poor kids stay poor, rich kids get richer. Our first paradigm here was made when we were a kid. If our parents told us that we are poor, we thought we are poor. It goes with the black and white discrimination, goes with the SC/ST discrimination. Nobody, there is no physical markation that says that I am an SC. I'm an SC, by the way, a lower caste in India. I'm not SC. See, SC is a caste. It's just an outside thing. But my parents said it so much, they made me believe that I belong to some lower caste, and that made me feel inferior to other people. But if they had not said all of that, I would have never believed it, and I would have lived a normal life. So we live according to our beliefs. and we believe what is told to us repeatedly over and over and over again. I'm a billionaire. I earn $100 million a year. Now I work from this paradigm and I act as if I have a lot of uh, driven ultra high agency people who want to listen to me. That is why I'm making this video. If I did not believe this, I'd be not doing so much effort for absolutely zero result. I'm functioning from a higher paradigm. I'm functioning from a higher result that exists in my mind. And I believe in it, that is why I act. And because I act slowly and steadily or very fast, things get attracted to me. So you need to realize that whatever paradigm that you have, it controls you. And what all does paradigm control? It literally controls your ability to earn money. It controls your perception. Or did I talk about perception? Yes, this is one of the higher faculties which I like to explain through an example, because sometimes we get a lot of Instagram reels where we have the same image but five different people see five different things in that. Some people see a horse head, some people see an elephant, some people see a human face, and we are asked which one do we see first. Perception is something that changes the same thing to the opposite thing. Something could be kept in front of me like this. It will look completely different from this side and completely different from this side. It is on us how we want to see that. So in life, things are not as black and white as you think. Things are different. It's how we perceive them ends up making our worldview, ends up making us believe how it's like.